Hello and welcome to the Mulgrave Cricket Club podcast. We are back after about a year. I know last time, it was about a year ago that we last did an episode. We said we're going to change it up. We're going to make it weekly. We're going to do some different things. That did not happen. Basically, as a quick recap to what has happened in a year, we went into lockdown, came out of it. 3 of our sides made finals. 2 of our sides made a grand final. 1 of our sides won a grand final, and then we went back to lockdown. And that side was captained by our second 11 skipper, Jackson Taylor, who joins us, as well as Callum Hope, man of the match for the grand final, and obviously Mitchell Rebecki too, who I'm not 100% sure how he conned his way into getting a medal, but 13th man, he's here.
12th man.
12th man. 12th man. Who was 13?
Flynn.
I thought you were 12. Really? Oh, well, okay, then we'll go.
How about you pay attention to someone that isn't yourself for once, Dylan?
All I'm going to say is that I know Dwelly was not happy with you.
Well, what man was Dwelly?
Didn't you play the exact same amount of games as you?
Oh, no, I think I played maybe one more.
Should talk about a little bit what we did in the off-season. We've sort of gone viral. Cricket.com.au wrote articles about us. ESPN Cricket Info wrote articles. Sam Perry from the Grey Cricketer called us weird. SEN and 3AW talked to our president. It was kind of nuts. Speaking of, boys, we got shout out on the Grey Cricketer podcast, which is pretty big because, you know, they're quite huge. I know Jacko loves them. Ruba, you're a pretty big fan of them, aren't you?
I sent them a message once they shouted us on the podcast, and they responded back a couple of days later with a thumbs up. So I was pretty honoured.
What'd you send?
G'day, boys. Please come do stuff with Mulgrave. Thanks.
I just remember being at work because I listened to them through my speaker at work at 1 a.m. in the morning every week as soon as it comes out. And I just remember getting straight on our chat and be like, boys, what the hell has just happened? We've got to shout out the Grey Cricketer. So, it's pretty mental, to be honest.
Yeah, so for those who don't know what the Grey Cricketer podcast is, they're run by 2 blokes, 2 Aussie ex-grade cricketers, Ian Higgins and Sam Perry. They've toured all around the world. They've, got pretty big podcast in itself. They've got all these crazy numbers on Facebook and Instagram and all that. And they've done stuff with 7 Cricket and everything. So to be shout out with them, pretty cool.
They've got their own show on 7 Cricket. Thanks, Dylan.
They have their own show. I don't know enough about it. Jacko, you're the expert with this sort of stuff.
I'm an expert in a lot of things, mate. Come on.
Anyway, it's pretty cool. Fingers crossed that we might actually be able to get to do something with them. We'll have to see with the season when it starts. Basically, probably should talk about why we went viral as well. And that is because we have been busy in the off season. Well, a couple of our committee members have. And we've been able to sign Tilakratne Dilshan as our first 11 captain, Upal Tharanga as our other player, other international player, and then Sanath Jayasuriya as our head coach, which is kind of mental. Yeah, crazy.
I'm really looking forward to Sanath in the nets with us boys in the 2s in the nets next to them, just taking the absolute mickey and then looking across from us, and Sanath Jayasuriya is trying to give someone throwdowns. And then there's Johnny Morris running in and throwing it down at the batsman next to him in a cloudy day at 8 p.m, taking away stumps. It's going to be good fun.
Are you playing 2s this year, or are you playing 5th, Rebecki?
I probably won't play a game this year.
You said you wanted to play. You said you wanted to captain.
No worries, Fisher.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Jacko. I'd love to play Syntho pretty much this year. Get a good run in the Synthos. See if I can do something.
Do you want a captain?
If the opportunity comes along, I'll do it.
Yeah, I could see you being a captain. What would the makeup of your side be if you had a choice over anyone at Mulgrave? What's the makeup of your side looking?
All right, we're playing the lowest division of synthetic cricket possible. We're playing, I'd say, about lock 4, lock 5, if that's available. I'm happy to go play at Lum Reserve. It's a smaller ground. I don't like running much, and I don't like running between wickets. I would like Jason Muratunga opening the batting with Harris Timopoulos. Don't really care about the rest. Yeah.
Where are you batting yourself?
Probably 8.
My concern with that is Rebecki saying he doesn't like running, but I think he's going to be chasing the ball down Lum Road a lot. So that's my concern with that.
No, if I'm captain, the 3 juniors I have from the under-15 side from Friday will be chasing the ball.
So we probably should talk about the second 11 grand final, because I don't know about you lads, but this was easily the greatest day of my life, which now I think about it more and more, that's quite a sad statement to make. Me winning an E-turf flag, not really contributing that much, dropping a catch, best day of my life. Then everything from here just goes downhill.
You also failed with the bat.
I got 16. I'm more than happy with my 16.
I'll talk about your 16 in a second.
Kick us off. Then. Go on.
I mean, like you just, as someone who's still quite young in the cricketing terms, Dylan, you don't seem very open to feedback in terms of when and when not to play the short ball. And then you get bounced out by a third grade second change bowler. And I just think that's, it's just good.
Your advice. All right. First off, you opened the bowling. Secondly, your advice in training wasn't to not play it. It was either hook it or duck it, because I kind of just wanted that. So
yeah, hook it or duck it, not hit it straight back to him, mate. Hit it straight back to him.
Exactly, which I didn't in the game. I tried to hook it.
Well,
but you didn't.
Played it well.
Anyways, let's not get distracted.
No. Let's talk about, if we're talking about dismissals here, let's talk about Jackson's dismissal.
Oh,
why don't you run us through that, Jacko?
All right, so we got off. I'll just run us through the whole innings because it's not all about us. So we got off to a good start between Jardine and Suin. Jardine just getting over 12, I think, before he got out. Then Suin and I consolidated a little bit, both got to 30. Then played a nice little sweep shot for 4. I think Suin got out before me, not too sure. Yes, it was, because Callum was at the other end. So I sweep him for 4. And beauty, I'm on top of him here. The next ball, pretty much the same ball, just a little bit straighter. I go to sweep him again, wrapped on the pads, and I went, beauty. If I just run through for a quick single here, Eddie's going to give me not out. It's like, yeah, Cal, come through, Cal. Eddie just stands there and goes, see you, mate. I was like, oh, come on, Eddie. Come on.
Just hit in front of the middle.
We were better mates.
I thought we were on first name basis, Eddie, come on. But it was even worse getting to the tee break and going, which walking up to Eddie, he goes, that was just out, mate. That is the worst shot I've ever seen anyone play. It's like, yeah, thanks, Eddie.
And then Dylan came to bat a bit later, and he make his statement.
Cal can probably run us through the rest of the innings because he was out there for the rest of it. So
let's just quickly let's talk about Johnny Morris's dismissal.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, but I thought I'd better not.
No, because we're talking about grade cricket. We're talking about maybe doing something with the grade cricketer. I mean, if you ever want to talk about the most grade cricket story ever, it's Johnny Morris trying to play a massive drive with the ball doing everything, and it just missing it by like that much between bat and pad, and it taken out off stump. And then I wasn't there for this. Josh Morris probably described this a bit better because he was in the rings padding up. Apparently, all he hears is just big bang. And then a lot of expletives later. And we come to find out that John just put a hole in the wall after punching it. And so then the next day we came back and he's there early plastering the thing back together.
Had about 6 goes at it as well.
Yeah, I just remember Junior just coming out of the changes with all his kit in his hand. I'm like, mate, what are you doing? And he goes, oh yeah, John's just put a hole in the wall. I was like, what? Please tell me he hasn't. And then he goes, no, he has. So I went and had a look at it. I thought, oh my God, it was the biggest hole I'd ever seen too.
He's but to be fair, Johnny though, he
probably wants the game.
Yeah, he came back better the next week it was. It was like the longest grand final I've ever played. Longest one day I've ever played in my life.
Longest grand final ever.
The 3-day one day. Don't
3-day one day. Cal, take us through actually what happened in the game, like after John Morris, nearly cost us X amount of money in repairs.
I guess with the rain delays, if anyone remembers grand final weekend, it was just pouring with rain on the Saturday. We were hoping just come back on the Sunday, but we ended up having to bat first and scrape to 4 for 80 odd in 27 overs. I couldn't hit the ball off the square. I think I was 4 not out off about 35 deliveries. Really struggled. And then we come back the next day and water had gotten in under the covers, or the sprinklers had come on under the covers, I think was what had ended up happening.
Yet to be confirmed.
Yeah, I don't think council ever owned up to that one, but we can't confirm it either. So we had to come back the next week, and we ended up coming back and scraping to 130 odd, which was probably a good effort considering where we were.
Sorry, can I just jump in quickly? Just a quick shout out. We came back early on the Sunday morning because we had quite a few junior sides in grand finals that morning too. Unfortunately, I think only one of 3 got over the line, but big ups to the under 13s, I think it was in the end. So big ups to them.
Yep, absolutely. It was good to see the senior boys down there supporting him. But yeah, then the next week we got to 130-ish, which was defendable. And then I think we did the job with the ball. Johnny Morris took 4 for 10. One of the quickest spells ever. I reckon in an E-Turf grand final.
Probably
Genuinely,
a little bit of trouble.
They were genuinely they couldn't play him. It was so quick.
Yeah, and we were in
just-
a bit of strife too, but he turned the game.
We're just talking about it like we didn't sit through and watch it last night at all. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I mean, we started out. They were, I reckon, on none for 20 odd, and then 1 for 40 something. Because Gilly decided the best way to get Rashid out is to try and get him, just bounce him out.
Bounce.
And I'm not sure at what point Gilly thought this may not be the right idea after the 6th time he'd just been put into the stands. But yeah, Johnny Morris came on, basically turned the game. Like the first 3 weeks were LBWs. Like it was crazy. Yeah.
You know what?
And then-
It was not a good day to be a front pad. It was not a good day to be a front pad at all.
Front shoe was in strife.
Yeah,
Can
you would
confirm
not want to be a shoe.
The second week it was a catch, not an LBW either. So first week weren't LBWs, but
Who took that catch?
it should have been Josh Morris, but less said about that, the better.
Yeah, straight Jackson Taylor at second slip, straight into the breadbasket. Would you said ice cream?
I did, but Josh Morris should have easily taken that one that went to 4, but he just looked at me as soon as he dropped it. He goes, didn't see that at all. And I said, don't worry, neither did I. So, but then what was your feedback to him, Dill?
Don't worry about it. It's next one. You'll don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You just need to think about the next one. Otherwise, you'll drop the next one. And then Rashid skied one. Yeah, Rashid skied one, and it's the worst as well because like it went up, and I'm going in my head. I immediately couldn't. I had no clue where it went. Picked it, but then it's like I've completely misjudged it. So I'm running around in circles, and you can kind of just hear because there's a decent crowd there at the time, so you could hear the crowd kind of going like, "All right, like if he takes this, it could be game over." Because Rashid was like,
the danger man, absolutely
danger man, yeah. And so I've just run round, and then I didn't even get there. I dived. It literally went straight through my gloves. And then
Dylan,
Callum,
I want you to put just a little image right now on the screen in editing of my reaction, please.
Yeah,
from the front.
your reaction was worse though. Your reaction was worse because everyone got like Johnny Morris and Josh Morris were like kind of like, oh, it's all good, and the ball was still in play. Like no one had thrown it in yet. It wasn't dead, and so you just gave him a massive spray.
Yeah, I know. Anyway,
you can see how the frog box, the ball gets thrown to you, Callum, and the disdain in just the way you snatched at the ball and then just stared at Dylan was just unreal. But I'd walked off the ground because I had to unfortunately go to my sister's wedding, and I'd packed my kit up and I was going to my car, and I walk out through the roofs and Dylan goes, Dylan's just dropped Rashid, and it was pretty much a catch he should have taken. And I was like, Dolly, don't tell me that.
No. What you
Please
said to me last night. What you said to me last night was Jolly said it was an absolute soda. I was like, cheers, Dickie.
I was also a few deep last night, so there might have been a bit of mayo on that.
Does it count, Dylan, as a drop if you didn't actually get a glove to it?
That's what I said, but apparently it does.
It does.
Made that.
As a former keeper, yes.
I've made that abundantly clear that I don't think it does if you don't get hands to it, but
which also means
not your fault.
Which also means the one off James Gurry, which was actually at your hand length, but you just were too late on, also counts. So
I was not there. It was so far past my glove. Anyway, let's stop talking about the negatives. Let's talk about the positives. Let's talk about Callum Hope's catch. Cal's probably gone back and watched this like 20, 30, 40 times over. Explain it to us, Cal. Go on. Explain the situation.
Yeah, unfortunately, the frog box didn't catch the catch itself. So Old Carey's captain had come in. Spider was fielding it mid-off. Can't remember who was bowling. It might have been Suin. First ball of the spell.
No one cares.
First ball that the bloke bowled just goes over cover for 4 or over mid-off for 4. I don't think this guy's played many defensive shots in his life. So I decided I'll whack myself down at deep long off. And I just probably prematurely come back from an ankle injury. So I wasn't sure how well I'd be able to move, but I figured I'd be moving better than Spider down there.
I think that was Spider's own.
Yeah, so he made the switch.
So I made the switch.
On the frog box, you can see Callum go, do you want to go down there? And Spider goes, no, mate. So
yeah, that's fair. So made the switch, and very next ball he plays the identical shot. Went out to cover way, put in some yards, hopped along, got to cover, and then full length dive, and I can deal photo of the catch.
Photo of the
and so there was a bit of a carry on. I took the catch and just stood there and just demanded the boys run at me. And I'm pretty sure I was heard yelling, "It's what I do."
It was
definitely what you were heard yelling.
It was so weird because you saw the catch and it was always kind of like, he's probably not getting there, but like, oh yeah, it was always like you were just there. And then you just stuck it out, and that slap of the ball into the hand was the most satisfying sound because you had it, and it was that split second of no one really reacted because everyone was like, "There's no way you're taking this," and then you just chucked it, and we all gone mental, and you've stood there like Bresciano in the 05 World Cup qualifier, just like Iron Man, just standing there, with this the biggest grin on your face. But the best part for me was
Spider move quickly.
Oh, Johnny Morris was burning rubber. He was just like, you see him just run across this frog box from, I think, deep mid wicket to like where Cal was at deep cover in the space of 5 seconds. And the best part for me was running over, and out of the corner of my eye, I see my old man who'd come down to watch just pulling out the chainsaw and screaming.
Philby, love it.
Yeah, probably the best catch I've ever seen. Ruba, were you on the field for that? Did you run onto the field for that?
No, so I was actually sitting with Gary Morris at the time, and I can tell you, I have never seen a man of his, I guess, in all respect of his age, jump up and down and move as ecstatic as he was. When that catch was taken, I was scared for my own safety because Gary Morris was going all of these ones and hands going everywhere. But I was sitting on the bench. Well, I didn't come onto the ground, but I tell you, I was very excited, and I think at that point, for me, I thought, okay, we've won. Like, Rashid was in, but I think that didn't only change the momentum, I guess, of the game with the skipper being out, but also changed the attitude of everyone on the field to actually believing, wait, we're going to win this. And you could show it, I guess. What happened after that?
I just remember...
After that was when I dropped the catch after that.
Yeah.
I just remember... I looked up at the scoreboard, and as I said earlier, I had to nick off to my sister's wedding, and I just remember asking the boys for the next half an hour to be the best half an hour of cricket we'd played all season, and it turned out to be the best half an hour of cricket we played, and probably that match turning half an hour. So after that, just Callum would be able to go through it better because, as I said, I was in a shower listening to the game on Frogbox.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
do you want to take over?
It's nice to also be able to just come down and big dog it in the twos just for the grand final. So I did sort of have thoughts in the back of my mind about other blokes who'd missed out. But sorry, Dill.
How much chirp were you getting?
Oh, lots. When I was batting, this isn't A turf anymore. You drop down to the threes now.
That could have been on me. I did tell him the day before. I did tell him in the rain delay, so that was on me.
Yeah, I would have said the same if a ones player had come up against me in a grand final. But there was reasons for it. I had just come back from injury. Definitely wasn't 100%. So was just happy to be there. And
went and won a flag.
Absorb a bit of chat and won a flag. Yeah. And I think with the ball, like you said, Jacko, we sort of lifted in that middle period. And then I think I took a couple of wickets.
Took a couple good catches if you're in bowling.
And then,
how's the head wobble on it? How's the head wobble?
Yeah.
No. You asked me to walk you through the game. Gary took a couple wickets, and then I think he got the last one, and there's a really good fight of him streaming off with the finger pointed out.
And then Ruba's behind.
Yeah, I'm in that one.
The most trash get up. He's got he's color clashing with, I think it was white, and then a cream shirt that's untucked, black,
and he had black shoes on,
and no hat or anything. It is the worst get up ever.
Yeah, please, Dill right here, please.
Yeah.
No village.
You're off the boundary. You're on the boundary at that point. How was Guz's celebrations, by the way, though? He's
loves some me time.
Well, he went to Nav. He's like, "Hey, can you get me a graphic made up of me?" He's asked, "Can you get a graphic made up of me?" And now it's his profile picture.
Oh my
so
God.
Bad.
The most village
So
thing
bad.
ever.
This podcast is brought to you by Greska Homes, platinum sponsor of the Mulgrave Cricket Club. Build to inspire.
And we are back from a short hiatus, and we've found William Thomas Jardine. Will, how are you today?
Good, mate. How you going?
Now, there's something interesting about you and the Mulgrave second 11, and that is that you're a 2-point player. Tell us. Now, a 2-point player essentially means you're a better player than a 1-point player. So, William, tell us what it means to you to be a 2-point player.
It just gives you the security of, even though you're playing in the twos, you just automatically know that you're better than them.
Yeah.
As a person as well. So, I felt pretty secure through the last season, which was nice.
Yeah, definitely. Now, the reason we wanted to have a chat with you today is to talk about the nature of some of the new signings that have come along to Mulgrave. So we have Dilshan, Tharanga, Jayasuriya. Tell us about how these additions could help strengthen the Mulgrave Cricket Club.
Look, they're pretty decent players. I think they're going to have to prove themselves for a start. I know Tilly played in the T20s, and it did pretty well with the ball, but we didn't see too much with the bat. So hopefully he can just get on with it in the 2-day stuff and be able to score a few runs for us. Tharanga only recently retired from international cricket, I think.
February this year, I believe.
February, yeah. So, he's still
he also likes his protein bars.
Oh, is that
his Instagram? Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's just going to be pummeling blokes, isn't he? And then Jayasuriya, I'm sure he's a good coach. And also, the assistant coach as well that we got, the bowling.
Who the fuck was that?
I don't know, that was grim, though.
Don't know what.
No, it's real timing. Good time. I'm sure he's a good coach.
Who was it?
Dylan.
All right, Dil, you can take over again. I've had enough.
Apologies for that. Wilbur, since you're a 2-point player and you're just better than every other 1-point player at the club, what advice would you give to Tilakaratne and to Upal and to Sanath? Or as we said on the our Instagram page, welcome to Mulgrave Sant instead of Sanath. I'm pretty sure that was 50 who did that, so apologies. Jards, what advice would you give to these guys coming in? As a fellow 2-point player, you're a 2-point player, you're better than all of us. What advice would you give?
Hold your head high. Don't go near the Syntho wickets. And when playing at Mulgrave, just get on the front dog.
Just front dog them.
Those are my 3 points. Those are my 3 main tips, boys.
Then they'll say we're more than 2 points, so I'm not listening to a word you say, son.
Yeah, that's fair enough too.
How do you see?
Then I'll ask for some kit.
Mate, you recently moved to the B, Werribee. How's it going, mate? Obviously, you're still coming back to Mulgrave, still making the hike, but how's it going living out in the northern suburbs? I don't even know where it is.
Western.
Yeah, Western.
West. It's not too bad. I mean, I've been here for 2 weeks now.
Probably too many.
Haven't been stabbed, which is good. Couple of close calls. Locked in the front door. But yeah, look, it's been fine. I'm still working over in the east, so I'm more than happy to make the trek down to Mulgrave in search for a D-turf flag.
Back to back.
Are you gonna continue to score more runs than your skipper again next year and run the risk of being dropped to the third 11?
To daddy.
Well, depends who's skipper. Is it you, Jacko?
Jacko is the skipper of the third 11.
That is a good question.
Yeah, look, I heard rumours that Dill might be captain, so there'll be no doubt it'll be
I'm leaving then.
I'm going. Yeah. I've had discussions. I've played the power card. Said I'll stick around on executive if I can be the second 11 captain and take over from Jacko. Technically, I was vice captain for the grand final. I mean,
that's a stretch.
Didn't really do anything other than have the vice captaincy next to my name.
Oh, you got the stubby holder to prove it. There it is.
Yeah, exactly. That means
it was literally
S. Pereira VC.
The extent of those conversations.
Says Rebecca played as well.
Literally, extent of that conversation went, "Hey, Dill, what do you think it is?" No, I'm not listening to you anyway.
Yeah, it's great. I'll give an opinion. If he takes it and it works, great. If he takes it, doesn't work, it's on him. So I have no issues with that. Jards as well, obviously, we made big news, obviously, because of the signings and everything. And your favourite podcast of all time, The Grade Cricket, shouted us out, which we talked about a little bit before. But
I thought it was Hamish and Andy.
Our second favorite of all time. What are your thoughts on the grey cricketer shouting out little old Mulgrave, and how excited are you to hear Mulgrave on the grey cricketer?
Yeah, I've been a fan of the grey cricketers for a few years now. I think it would be good to have them down if they wanted to commentate or anything like that. It'd be good fun. Hopefully the committee takes that on board, and they're pretty decent guys. I think they're not that I've met them or anything. I don't really want to.
They can't be worse. They can't be worse than Parker.
Oh,
For sure.
Parker and we're never letting Parker near a microphone again.
Yeah, he's just
That
talking about
sucked.
different
That
coloured
sucked.
vests.
Yeah.
But
It's just roasting the opposition.
There was no
Yeah.
commentary on that game whatsoever. It was just abuse.
yeah, but if Sam and Ian are listening, and obviously they are, and come down and
At
commentate
the
and
later
have a bit
stage
fun.
of the podcast as well. Like they're
Yeah.
this far in.
They've made
Yeah,
it this far in.
They heard their shout out and were like, yep, we need to listen to more, boys.
We got another one, didn't we?
Yeah.
On the previous one, we got a shout out from
Yeah, the latest one, we got a sneaky little shout out to say that
Yeah,
you get paid paying more for Mulgrave than you do for Sri Lanka. So fit in that.
there's a certain amount of truth to that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, there was an article by the Leader the other day about, I think it was Cal Pereira signing for a club, and someone commented, "It's not Mulgrave again, is it?"
It was like, okay.
We already have Gasol Pereira.
Yeah, we already have-
Yeah.
Kush retired a couple of years ago. It hasn't been seen since.
Has not been seen since the last second 11 minute
Yes.
final.
Refuses to answer my calls, so yeah, might want to do a missing persons report maybe.
You just
Yeah.
have to talk to him ASAP, Cal.
And on that note, we put up a competition on our Instagram not long ago. We have possibly a few more signings coming to the Mulgrave Cricket Club for our 2020s. There was a rumor coming from a few different media sources, but I believe that competition still might be open. So if you go onto our Instagram page, which I believe is Mulgrave_CC, find the post which Dylan will put a picture of here, and we might share again on our socials. Comment down who you believe might be coming to the grave, and I believe the prize is a meet and greet with said players after they actually play for the club. So get on that, and you might win yourself a meet and greet with the boys.
Do you have any suggestions, Jards? Who are your guesses to who the players might be?
My guesses. It's a tough one because obviously
Bradman,
it could be
Jardine.
anyone.
Yeah, Douglas.
Um,
Douglas.
My three guesses would be Graham Manu, Marcus North, and Ruba's dad. So I can't wait to have a meet and greet with the boys.
Razor.
They could have been the most niche's guesses I've ever heard, besides the jumper that's sitting behind me. So
I would have gone Bo Caston.
Dan
Yeah,
Cullen.
true.
Bryce
I've got a
McCann.
Dominic Thornley, New South Wales top in my closet. Should have gone him.
Loves Kit.
He's a fucking
Loves kid.
yeah.
Jayasuriya.
Just quickly as well, we've signed on a new platinum sponsor, Greska Homes. So they're our main sponsor, I think, for this year. For now, I think we're still looking at signing a few more other sponsors, but yeah, Greska Homes, they're a residential building company.
Jardine, you played a bit around with their logo, didn't you? I believe you made a cheeky little set of bat stickers in a ploy to maybe get some kit.
Yeah, look, if Greska Homes is listening, Mr. Greska, I've made some mock-up designs using the logo, your name, and also your slogan, "Build to Inspire," and made some mock design of some cricket bat stickers. So if you want, we can get in touch, and talk about pricing and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, if you want a 2-point player to represent you, then let me know.
Are you able to share the designs with us?
I think Dylan's going to show them
I'll
on
pop
the,
them up. We'll pop them up here. So talk us through it, Jards. We're obviously going to pop up the designs here now. So just talk us through what the inspiration was for your own. Because, not many bat not many people like yourself actually go away and design their own stickers and design what the bat's going to look like. So where was the inspiration from?
Yeah, look, there's a massive hole in the market for just regular companies to promote themselves using cricket bat. Like, look at the major bat brands, and they're all sporting brands. You know, Slazenger, Nike had a bat, Reebok, Adidas had a bat. But then you got weird companies like MRF, who are a tire company. So my thought is just that any company can just make a set of stickers, put it on a bat, and, you know, if Steve Smith's scoring runs with a koala sticker on his bat, then why can't Gresco Homes do
People
the
are
same
going to
thing?
buy mattresses.
Yeah.
What's your pitch to Gresca to what is your sort of to go, come with me, sign with me, I will put your brand on my back.
Obviously, well, I'm going to be training 2 times a week. We've got TikToks. You know, I'll give the bat to Dilshan. He can have a whack with it as well. And then, you know, we'll bribe the social media team here at Mulgrave to put a picture up on the Instagram post as well and stuff like that.
Obviously, you win with that.
Yeah. And then I'll be promoting this to 20 plus blokes every day on a Saturday. So
I have one suggestion for promoting the bat. Make some runs.
I mean,
with the bat.
It's a given.
I'll try.
It's 2-day cricket. That's Jardine's format. I mean, what did he soak up? He was 49 off about 130 balls at one stage in St. Kevin's, wasn't he? So, you know, 2-day cricket's his game.
Yeah, well, I'll have to adjust my game a little bit. I was a bit attacking last year, so hopefully change that and get back to normal.
Go back into the shell.
Pretty much. Great. Yeah, so Gresca, you know, my people will talk to your people.
On that note, I reckon for anyone out there who is listening, looking to get involved in sponsoring the club, reach out to us via socials. We're always willing to take on new sponsors on board. And then, you know, if anyone is wanting to inject a bit of money into a local cricket club, just reach out to us because we're always willing to take that on board. And, you know, you might get your company on Will Jardine's bat.
Massive hole in that market.
So basically as well, we've got a lot of events coming up this year. You know, it's obviously a very, very big year at the club with, you know, all the signings and, you know, rumors of, you know, players signing for T20s and all that kind of stuff. So we do have season launch coming up, which will, you know, obviously kick off the 2021-22 season. And the club's in the process of, you know, organizing the actual events and how we're going to go about it and who we're going to have. And one of the things that's been raised is a guest speaker. Now, obviously, it's a bit up in the air, but I mean, the fact that, you know, we have signed with Global Talent Entertainment and they have been able to sign some names. There is no reason why we can't get any other name from them if Global Talent Entertainment are able to get these guys signed. So, question to all of you guys. We'll start with you, Mitchell. Who is the one guest speaker, dead or alive? Dead or alive? Because we don't know the power of GTE. We don't know what they are possibly capable of. So, dead or alive, one guest speaker that you could have at the season function to start off the 2021-22 season. Who are you going with?
12 seconds later.
His inspirational story and tale could be valuable at the Mulgrave season launch.
No, you're cutting that. What the
I remember when we... I remember.
We're all.
I'm cutting.
You're
that
see
from
what
the
I
point.
I'll do it again.
I'm
But I
cutting that-
googled.
No, I'm cutting that from the point. You've lost your turn. I'm cutting that from the.
No,
I'm cutting that, and you've lost it. We're cutting back.
No, leave me to the end. Leave me to the end. I'll think of something basic.
You've lost. You go.
5 minutes later.
Ruba, we'll give you one more chance. Please, this time. Please, for the love of God, don't make me have to edit this one out.
Alexander Graham Bell, inventor of the telephone.
Good one.
I think his innovation in creating the telephone allowed us to get these great connections, such as Tillicrack and Dilshan. The foundations of his work is what created GTE and Mulgrave.
Interesting. Callum.
Yeah, thought about it a little bit. And I'm going to go a little left of field. Not really my music taste usually, but it's someone you can find in the club with a bottle full of bourbon, and it's 50 Cent. I reckon he'd add a lot.
Yep. And he is a part of he's a part of GTE.
Yep. So I think that would definitely be a big draw card. So if I had to pick one person, I'm picking 50 Cent for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Jackson, who's your one player or your one player? Anybody?
it's pretty obvious. I'm sitting right in front of the great man's shirt, so it'd be off brand for me not to say it. So I'm just gonna. There's no backstory in it. Just give me some Pete Neville and I'm there.
So what would you ask? What are sort of the questions that you'd ask him?
Who cares? He's a legend. He wore a bag of green. Don't need stories. How did it feel to take Brad Haddon's spot in that Ashes series and be so hated from the get go?
Jardine.
Good player. My person that I would love to have at our event is none other than the sole admin of AFL trade, rumours, and news. It is Lara's own Coop Gretsch or Booper.
Yeah,
I think GTE could offer him some substantial amount of coin that could go towards more mugs.
Yep.
And also a connive mug.
All right, they'll probably finish us off for this week's podcast. I say this week's podcast with fingers crossed because we said that last year and then we didn't do one.
It's not going to happen.
365 days. So thank you though for listening. Obviously a huge season ahead. We're going to try and do more podcasts more often, but that I don't know. We'll see how we go. But yeah, thank you everybody for listening. Obviously. We've been joined by the great man, Will Jardine, as well as Jackson Taylor, Callum Hope, Mitchell Rebecca, and I'm Dylan Carmody. Thank you. And fingers crossed that we'll be back and there's some big things planned. Go, Molly.
Can't agree.